Welcome back, everyone, to a spin-off special, Cobra Kai Watch Party! With the conclusion of Cobra Kai now here, fans are now clamoring for more. More Cobra Kai, more karate, more badassery all around. As long as there is no mercy, there should be no end. Except, well, Cobra Kai did end. The show ended about as well as you could ever ask for. I certainly am not disappointed. I loved every bit of it, and all the characters we cared for got happy endings. The ones we didn't got less than spectacular endings. But of course, immediately, there's been a lot of discussion. Will there be a season 7? What's happening next? It's so successful, why stop? Some YouTubers and media personalities are even pushing it. I'm getting sent videos of people talking about season 7. What could happen in season 7? So on and so forth. It's worth noting, Cobra Kai, the show we have enjoyed and that has dominated the karate world and certainly the valley, has now come to an end. There won't be any season 7. Netflix was happy with the show. The creators are happy with the show. We're not just gonna come back and do it one more time. This was the end. Everyone is now free to leave, so to speak. Of course, that doesn't mean it's the end of the Miyagi-verse. For years now, there has been talk of spin-offs in different directions. Certainly, the way the show ended, every character or group of characters were heading in their own different directions, and you can imagine stories from every single one of them. They're all ripe for a spin-off in some way. Let's take a minute and examine each set of characters and how they would feature into a spin-off. Let's start with Miguel and Sam. Some people really loved this ending. It was a happy ending, or at least a mirage of a happy ending. Truthfully, they're going to be living like thousands and thousands of miles apart. They're just spending, like 2 weeks together, which is nice. It's a callback to the second movie, but they are going to be separated. What happens? Now, there could be a lot of fun with Sam in Okinawa. There's potential there. Okinawa is steep in history, in tradition. What does she find while she's there? Does she learn anything new about Miyagi-Do? At least something new that she didn't know. You would think Chosen knows everything, but Chosen's not there at the moment. What happens when she meets cute Okinawan boys and they flirt with her while Miguel is thousands of miles away? Sam had rejected Axel, but maybe Axel was never her type. She likes him, with a little bit more of a tan. The relationship drama never ends with these two. And just because the show is over, you can't expect it to end. It's going to continue on forever and ever. God help us all. But no, definitely any sort of spin-off with them could involve Okinawa, going on adventures and studying karate. There's old ruined castles and everything. It could be like a treasure hunt. Who knows? Now, another couple pairing for spin-off is, of course, Robbie and Tori. They're doing the karate circuit, fighting in major national tournaments and running promotions at the same time. This is actually, in some ways, maybe the most realistic. Like, there's really people who do this. I've watched YouTubes and other people who fight in these national tournaments, international tournaments, and are also spokespeople for products, endorsed dojos, that sort of thing. They're living as big names on the world stage. That has a lot of interesting potential in a spin-off because what it would feature is them in a completely new environment. They were both poor. They grew up in sort of desolate homes, struggling to make ends meet. Now they're traveling the world on the top of the stage. It's sort of like the idea of the poor man who becomes a big rock star. They're like the rock stars of the karate world, giving big tours, winning big tournaments. They have their own fandom, like not the fans here, but like an in-universe fandom, sort of the way Zara had. Now Tori is signing autographs, and Robbie, when he's not on crutches, is knocking it out dead. They're on top of the world, and when you're on top of the world, it's a perfect time to get knocked back down. Anyway, I see a lot of potential there for a spinoff. I like those sort of stories of the rags to riches, but then living on top of the world where life starts moving so fast and so intense, you maybe break down from pressure. Can you find your balance and keep it on the world stage? That's what it's about for them. Another potential spinoff would be the Chosen in Kim Da-Eun lovers karate world. As lovers, they strike first and strike hard, but now they have to learn to get along. They hooked up briefly in Barcelona. There was passion, sure, as well as sand. Yeah, there was a lot of sand too. How do they merge together? Do they really even know much about each other? They come from different worlds, but it was very much the same. Chosen learned from Sato, who was very angry about Miyagi-Do. He taught Chosen the aggressive sides of Miyagi-Do. And of course, that is what Sensei Kim always learned from her grandfather. No mercy. You have enemies, not opponents. Their philosophies merged. You can see how they both came to terms with what they learned and then chose their own path. For Chosen, it took years. For Kim Da-Eun, it was much more quick, but she still has to change her style and change how she runs the dojo. Did Kim Sun-young create any enemies over the years? Maybe those enemies will come looking to collect debts now that they know he's gone. They don't fear Kim Da-Eun the way they feared Kim Sun-young. There are a lot of interesting potential adventures in the South Korean dojo. Now, of course, there's always Mike Barnes. It's worth noting, I think at some point Sean Kanan did just say broadly to media, sure, he's open to doing a spin-off. Unfortunately, he had only been in a few episodes, and some of the shooting might have been cut short because he had other projects going. But it would be great if we could get more Mike Barnes in the Miyagi-verse somehow. Everything he did was just a pure delight. Even if they weren't my favorite episodes, the Mike Barnes stuff was always perfect. It's hard to believe how well it worked, but it did. He's rebuilding the furniture store and has now reignited his passion for karate. Is he looking for a little redemption? Maybe he can come back and win the Sekai Taikai or another world championship? He certainly has the skills. He's Mike Barnes, and he is still the tournament terror. He can dominate everything. Another potential idea is he works as a sensei coach for Robbie and Tori while they're traveling the tournament circuit. Daniel and Johnny are too busy with family and running their own dojos. Mike Barnes is a little bit more free. He still knows how to win tournaments. I would actually like seeing them together. That's an interesting idea. Plus, we don't want him to go out having lost a fight. Mike Barnes needs to win. He's a winner. Now, the show ended with Kenny, Devin, and Anthony as the lead students in the new class. They're now the mentors. How will they handle teaching the younger students? How will they handle the new stresses that they're going to face as they become upperclassmen in high school? Also, there were hints of a Kenny-Devin relationship, but that's not necessarily that strongly implied. Anything can happen. They're each a lot of fun characters with a lot of potential, but I'm not sure how much it'll work for a spinoff. I can see them being more of side pieces to another show, like Anthony could show up in a Miguel Sam spinoff as he's talking to his sister from Okinawa. Likewise, Kenny or Kenny and Devin could show up in the Robbie and Tori spinoff because of course Kenny and Robbie are still close. Maybe Kenny wants to get to where Robbie is on the world tournament circuit. So there's a little bit of back and forth as they're attempting to break into what Robbie and Tori already have. And that's just a look at maybe half of the potential spin-offs there are. In part 2, we're going to look at the Binary Brothers and other ideas like a young Terry Silver. What could ever come from a spin-off like that? Make sure you're subscribed, you don't want to miss it. Have a great day, I'll see you at the next Watch Party.